I have got to get me one of these. Woo! Just the one, the Ducati. Give it to me. Morning, folks. We're down at MOP in Cardiff again. This time at the Ducati pad. And this is what we're taking out. As the title says, it's a Ducati Scrambler Urban Motard. Not a model I've ever heard of myself, but I'm not really into Ducatis much, having owned one and didn't get on with it. That's a different story. Yeah, I popped in the other day when the BM was in for MOT, and Chris, the salesman here, asked me if I'd like to take it out. He said it's one of the lesser known models, so would I like to take it for a test ride and do a review? Yeah, okay. So originally we planned to do this tomorrow, but the weather's going to be absolutely pants tomorrow, so I'm doing it today instead. So we're going to have a little ride on it and see what we think. Well, folks, good morning, or good afternoon even. Ducati Scrambler Urban Motard. What's it all about? Well, it's a Ducati Scrambler, but it's got 17-inch wheels. It's very much like a sort of supermoto, hence the name, the Urban Motard. And you do ride it in a position of a supermoto. You're very much sat on it, quite close to the bars. Bars are nice and wide. Foot pegs, they're slightly further back, as it were, but not uncomfortable. In fact, I find it very comfortable riding position. Suspension feels quite stiff, but it is a brand new bike, so you know, I love the fact that the suspension will soften in time. I quite like it so far. Clutch is nice and light. Brakes are good and sharp. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. DPD. Tell you what, the pickup on this motor is lovely. A whiff of throttle and she starts to pick up the pace. Not super quick or anything. It's not, you know, touch the throttle, front wheel comes up and screams off without you. It's very controllable, but you can feel it's there. You can feel it's got a bit of go in it. I think with a practiced hand, this could be quite a little wheelie machine. Not me, I can't do wheelies to save my life. If the front wheel does come up on a bike, it's completely by accident. I just try to look good when I do it. And just in case, I got the dark visor so you can't see the look of absolute terror on my face. Here we are, folks. We're at my favourite spot to walk around Cosmeston Lakes. And this is the Urban Motard. It's fun. Pure fun. I could definitely live with this. If I could. Right, so bear with me, like dig in my pocket, dig out all the paperwork, because I did write all this out, so I can tell you exactly what the bike has got. What we got? We have an 803cc L-twin air-cooled motor with a Desmo valves, like most Ducatis. 73 brake horsepower, 8,250 RPM. 66.2 newton meters, 5,750 RPM. That's newton meters of torque. 6-speed gearbox, 41mm K-Arbor non-adjustable forks, and a K-Arbor shock with preload. Right, she runs at 196 kilos wet. It's fully fueled up with oil, everything. Got a seat height of 805mm, which is 31.7 inches in old money, and it's got a 13.5 litre fuel tank. Now, according to the website where I checked, it says servicing is 7,500 miles. That, I believe, includes a valve. It's 2-year warranty, and when I spoke to Chris this morning, I believe he said the price was 10,595 on the road. Website says 10,751 on the road. But please do double check your figures before you go in there. Don't quote me, because I may have got it wrong. So, back to the bike itself. Let's put my stuff away. As you can see, it's got the L-twin motor, which is air-cooled, with a funky exhaust. Now, this heat shield here is great because I can actually feel the heat on my leg when I'm sat in traffic. Not uncomfortable, you can just feel it. Really nice little exhaust system, very similar to the Super Sport. 17-inch wheels, front and rear, single disc front and rear. I'm not a fan of this number plate over the back tyre business. I'd have to fit some kind of tail tidy, I've got to be honest. That would have to go. Yeah, and the seat's big enough for two, if you want to take someone on the back. I wouldn't, I'd just go out on my own and have fun. See, no centre stand, so obviously you're going to need a paddock stand or something for servicing and chain adjustment. Front disc, if I remember correctly, is a 330mm, it could be a 320mm, with a Brembo 4-pot caliper, which works extremely well. Hydraulic clutch. Both brake and clutch have span adjusters on levers, which are lovely. Switch gear is very simple. High and low beam for your lights, indicators, horn, pass light. And on this side, engine start, hazards, and that's for the DRL's daytime running lights. Oops, sorry, I'm missing it on the camera. That's the daytime running lights, hazards, kill switch start button. Very basic. Mirrors, I say, they're okay. I can tilt them, but I don't seem to be able to rotate them inwards and outwards. Maybe that needs a bit more adjustment. Just pop the key in, switch on. Use a rather nice dash. Rev counter around here, speedo, temperature, fuel gauge. Gear indicator, which I do like. All your standard idiot lights. And at the bottom is the clock, which hasn't been set yet. Yeah, not a lot you can say about it really. It's a very nice bike. It's quite light to manoeuvre around. Absolutely no weight to it when you're riding it. Handles really nicely from what little I've got a chance I had to play with it. I'll try and find some more interesting roads. LED lights all round. Fairly simple looking machine. It says LEDs all round, but that doesn't not look like an LED headlight bulb, so I could be wrong. Please double check. I do like this colour. I think it's pretty cool. Only issues I can see with it, apart from that horrible number plate bracket thing on the back. So on the front end, the spray off that front tyre in the wet is going to be horrendous. Not a lot you can do about it. I think it'd be a case of don't ride it in the wet. Which would be the only reason I couldn't have one, because I'd need it to commute back and forth to work every day in all weathers. Yeah, it's a nice bike, it goes well. Let's go ride it and have some fun. Let's see if we can find some decent roads and have some fun. Catch you in a bit. Doodles. Right, let's try going on this roundabout a few times. Handles nicely. Lovely. Does the bends well. Alright, let's see if we can get through a few twisties now without being held up. Or twistier roads. This is what you want it for. Twisty A and B roads. Don't get me wrong, it can do motorways and stuff, no problem at all. It wouldn't be the most comfortable thing on a motorway, but it'll do it. So you can do your motorways or dual carriageways just to get to the fun roads. And when you get to the fun roads, that's where this thing comes alive. But if you want a Ducati that's relatively simple, so of course that cuts down on any potential issues, something that will be fun to ride, usable all year round, all weathers. Oh, hello. Ooh, that looks like the police are doing spot checks and stuff. We're in Aberthorpe. Time to off-ski. Woo-ha! Yeah, no quick shift of grumps. Need to remember that. Yeah, if you want a Ducati that's relatively simple, it's not going to break the bank, it's not going to tear your arms off every time you open the throttle, or scare you silly if you're not an overly confident or highly experienced rider. I would say yes, it's a bloody good bike to play with. I would definitely have one if I could warrant the expense, to be honest. For me to have this bike, I would have to sell one of mine, which would be the Brian, unfortunately. The BMW is far too useful to me. I use it for too many long runs and stuff. So, regrettably, it would be the Brian that goes. And I don't think I could use this every day for work. I think the spray of water off the front tyre alone would just do my head in, riding in winter. And where I work, the route I take, it's a lot of dock traffic from the docks, and they throw up an awful lot of muck and rubbish, and Christ only knows what all over the road. And I think it would absolutely ruin this bike. I have got to get me one of these. Woo! Just the one, the Ducati. Give it to me. Oop, sitting on, I will slow down. Yeehaw! Right, just for the sake of full disclosure, I'm not sponsored, paid or anything promoted for these reviews. They're entirely off my own back. Chris asked me if I'd like to take this one out because he knows I like to take out the unusual bikes, the not so common bikes. And in the Ducati range, this one is not well known. Hope you enjoyed my little review. If you did, please leave a like. If you'd like to leave a comment underneath, I'll try to answer all comments or respond to them at least, even if I just give you a like. If you want to share this video, please do, help yourself. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. If you're not, consider subscribing. It's free. Just click subscribe, then hit the bell icon, so whenever I post a video you'll get notified. Right folks, that's about it. I better get this bike back before I start crying I've run off with it. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, be safe, ride safe and have fun. Toodles!